No, you gotta calm down and listen to me.
Come on. Yeah, hey, come on now. We're trying to get it. Come on now.
Something funny. When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win.
Even what you was thinking when Tank did that when he took the knee? What you was thinking when he took the knee?
I can't speak.
Can't speak on that?
Can't speak.
He did some bullshit though?
I can't speak.
No personal opinion, nothing?
After recordings were leaked of the conversation between Dant Davis and his corner, there was no doubt in the boxing world that trouble was looming. As if that wasn't enough, audio recordings of Devon Davis and the referees soon made it out to the public. And this was the final straw that broke the camel's back. First, it was the main reason behind Lamont Roach's appeal.
Steve said, fight out of the clinch. Yeah. That's what we were gonna do. He came in the back and was like, I'm gonna let you fight out, especially if one arm is loose or whatever the case may be.
Sadly, the New York State Athletic Commission decided to downplay his efforts and refused to take the recordings seriously. In the end, their reaction to the recordings has brought even more controversial responses from the world of boxing.
Simple. So I was like, all right, the ref started counting. While I'm looking at him, I'm like, the ref started counting. But I see him get up and go to the corner.
The New York State Athletic Commission continues to review referee Steve Willis's errant handling of Lamont Roach Jr.'s Saturday night knockdown of Donta Davis. A compelling ProBox TV panel discussion assessed the matter on Wednesday. If they do one thing, Lamont Roach wins the fight, said Dan Raphael, the veteran boxing writer now distributing his Fight Freaks Unite Substack. That bad night by Willis cost Lamont Roach a championship, depriving him of hanging the first loss on America's top fighter. A lot of stuff went bad, and it was all against Lamont Roach. Speaking on his podcast, the host of the show, Teddy Atlas, gave his sincere comments on the refereeing when asked about the incident in round 9.
Sorry. I'm terrible. I am, but I'm ashamed of myself. I am so cynical. But this sport has made me cynical. I'm sorry. I don't see anyone's gonna...
He suggested the ref wasn't good enough and could have been bribed since he would never have done the same for Roach. Bad refs. We need better refs, more educated refs, trained refs, whatever you want to call them. I'm not going to say honest, because I don't know if honesty was the issue. I don't know, but we definitely need better refs who know how to make a decision, know they're making the right call, and are bold enough to do it. I don't think that ref would have let Roach get away with what he let Tank Davis get away with. Why? Tank's a star.
Is going to reprimand this referee? What are they going to do? I mean, it happens too often. It's happened too often. I don't know. We need a national commission. That's the only...
He continued, I think he set a record for the most fans ever at Barclays Center. Tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I believe they hit a new attendance record, maybe a gate record too. They've had concerts, fights, and basketball games there. They did big numbers. He's a star. He brings people, has a big fan base, and delivers solid pay-per-view numbers. I don't know the numbers for this one, but he's one of those guys who consistently brings in good pay-per-view figures. All of that comes with him.
But the last thing I want to say to put a bow on this one, Bud, we talked about the controversial part, but I want to...
When a referee allows him to take a knee, which isn't a rule in boxing, and get away with it, without making it a 10-8 round when it should have been, that's a problem. He got hit with a jab just before that. I'm not trying to go after Tank Davis. People already say I defend him too much or hype him up. And he is great. He's a tremendous, complete fighter. A puncher inside and outside, patient, defensively responsible with fast hands. He puts punches together, goes to the body, can counterpunch, set traps, all of that. But he was wrong here. He got away with it because the sport let him. There's nothing wrong with the fighters. It's the administrators of this sport that have a lot wrong with them. We see it, and we shouldn't keep seeing it. It's got to stop.
The great part. That was high-level boxing. That was two guys at the highest level showing their skills.
Teddy Atlas also added, a referee can't let something not in the rule book slide. Tank gets hit with a jab, and a second or two later, he takes a knee. Guess what? I'm sorry, that's a knockdown. If your knee goes down around that time, it's a knockdown. This isn't football. There are no fair catches here. You know what I mean? As you pointed out last night, if it were football, it'd be a touchback. Taking a knee in certain situations, there are rules for a reason. Even Terrence Crawford, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters, top 3 with him, Inoue and Usyk, came out and said, "I didn't know that was a rule. I guess I was sleeping when they passed that one." I'll add, he didn't say this, but maybe he was out doing road work or something. He must have been busy when that rule, which isn't a rule, came up. I said it earlier, this isn't the Indianapolis 500. You can't go into pit row because your oil needs changing, your tires need swapping, or grease needs wiping from your eye. There's no pit row in boxing. Tank went down on a knee, and Roach, give him credit, or maybe say he should have gone after him because the saying is defend yourself at all times, right? He would have been within his rights to attack.
You counter, and then all of a sudden you're in front of him. Boop! You're the invisible man. You're on the. That's sweet science too. Yes, and it's easier to see. It grabs your attention. Oh, wow, look at that guy. He's on the outside.
I've seen fighters hit guys who are turning or walking away. The referee doesn't stop it unless the bell rings or he interjects. You have the right to hit that guy that's fighting. Roach had the right. He was a gentleman, a sportsman, I give him credit. But when Tank turned, Roach could have hit him with a left hook or whatever. He's a southpaw, so maybe a straight left, whatever it was his right to pursue and throw. Maybe he could have caught him and knocked him down while he was turning. It wouldn't have been the nicest thing to see, but he wouldn't have been wrong. Who was wrong? Tank and the referee who allowed him to take a knee, go to his corner, get whatever was obstructing his vision wiped away, and then go back to work. If the referee scores that a 10-8 round, which it technically should have been, even though I know he wasn't hurt, Roach doesn't get a draw. He wins the title. A lot of people with a plus 900 ticket are feeling pretty good right now.
Of the furnace, with all the flames and everything going, and you don't get burnt up, you don't get torched, you don't get scorched. That is.
He concluded his sentiment by saying he bullied the bully. Really, he did. It's like in the schoolyard. You see the bully having his way all the time. Then one day, a guy stands up to him. Suddenly, the bully is not acting the same, not as aggressive. My cousin had a saying that fits here. When you depend a little on intimidation, but then the guy you're trying to intimidate doesn't get intimidated and becomes the intimidator, that flips it. You're not going to hear that from many people.
Something funny, when we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking right? But he like, you ain't gonna win.
Roach, a former amateur rival of Davis, deserved to be the leading story after handing Tank a minus 1,600 betting favorite. First blemish of his professional career in their controversial majority, draw inside Barclays Center. So, did the New York State Athletic Commission, which was less than transparent in the immediate aftermath and claimed Monday that a technical issue prevented it from reviewing the instant replay footage during the allotted time. By refusing to call the voluntary knee taken by Davis in round 9 exactly what it was, a knockdown, the fallout cost Roach both a 10-8 point swing that would have swung the decision in his favor and multiple millions of dollars that could have come from Roach entering their inevitable rematch as the defending champion.
Why not? What you talking about? They like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I was like, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing works.
Speaking to regulators across the country on Wednesday, they say New York Commission head Matthew D'Agostino is in a tough bind trying to resolve the human error that saw Willis start and then stop his 8 count of Davis after receiving multiple punches from Roach, which prompted Davis to take a knee and then walk to his corner. Co-trainer Calvin Ford was there to meet him and wipe his face with a towel. Davis later explained he felt the sting of a hair chemical in his eye and was merely seeking relief.
Gervonta Davis takes a knee, you landed a right hand, then 2 jabs afterward. What were you thinking when this happened? Were you surprised as everybody else? What was on your mind?
Man, I was surprised, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I thought it was a
panel, including retired California referee Jack Rice, trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards Raphael, and Pro Box TV regulars Chris Algieri and Paulie Malignaggi, unanimously agreed that Roach's bent knee met the definition of a knockdown. Pro Box TV founder Gary Jonas, who advises Roach, filed an official appeal letter to the New York Commission. Edwards provided a telling point. People make mistakes, but this always happens to favor the A side. Edwards said, Steve Willis has had an excellent career. This moment just shocked him.
When I'm looking at him, I'm like, the rest started counting. But I see him get up and go to the corner. So now I'm just like, all right, now I'm confused. I don't know what's going on.
Did you think he was stopping the fight?
Referee Rice sought to explain that as the sole arbiter of the bout, officials have the discretion to decide how the fight proceeds. Malignaggi responded, "You cannot call your own timeout." Rafael also reported that there was an opportunity to review the replay of the knockdown, but it didn't happen. This led Algeria and Malignaggi to conclude that there was only one effective way to respond: stage an immediate rematch, right back at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
Stopping the fight, but then again, like when I look at him in the corner, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. I don't know now. I just don't know what's going on. Besides the fact that
the New York State Athletic Commission told multiple outlets that it is still reviewing the matter. However, the most inexplicable storyline that still demands more attention is this: what the heck was up with Davis? While it was definitely shocking to see the 30-year-old Baltimore native struggle against such an overwhelming underdog after dominating the sport for so long, that wasn't necessarily the most surprising part. Roach looked like the bigger fighter after bulking up to lightweight and relied on the confidence and experience he gained from growing up in the same boxing circles as Davis to deliver the most impressive performance of his career.
It's sad to say, that's how boxing works. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with a superstar.
The biggest set of questions surrounded Davis's mindset and the repeated bizarre behavior he displayed before, during, and after the fight. This raises the question: was this simply an off night for one of the sport's pound-for-pound best, or has Davis lost the competitive fire and killer instinct that made him such a wildly popular draw at the box office? Star boxers being late for media events is nothing new, especially for Davis, who was nearly 2 hours late for the 2023 kickoff press conference against Ryan Garcia in December. However, Davis took tardiness to a whole new level when he unapologetically arrived nearly 4 to 5 hours late for his first event with Roach in New York, then followed it up by being 90 minutes late to last Friday's weigh-in. Davis was largely playful and loose during fight week, which is his norm, but his behavior during the fight became alarming when he twice took his eyes off Roach to argue with referee Willis in the first half, only to eat clean punches in return.
We won't get too much on paper, but shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him, I was like, oh, they gonna give me.
Prime Video cameras also caught Davis yelling over the advice of trainer Calvin Ford in the corner between rounds, shouting, "Listen to me." Then there was the uncalled knockdown in round 9. After Roach connected with a series of jabs, Davis began aggressively blinking his left eye before turning his back to the action and taking a knee. Davis instantly rose and ran to his corner, where Ford used a towel to wipe his eye, which could have been grounds for disqualification under the rules. Willis briefly began counting the mandatory 8 count, but stopped at 3 and warned Davis before allowing the action to continue. 17. Not only was Davis's explanation of what happened during the post-fight interview peculiar, but his demeanor was noticeably less than serious, considering he came so close to losing his title and unbeaten record. The crowd booed him, which seemed to reflect either embarrassment or disinterest. I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my expletive, so the expletive was coming into my face when I was sweating, and it burned my eyes, Davis said. Damn, why are y'all booing? Like, I'm saying expletive, these are real facts. Come on, man, look at my hair. I just got my expletive done, but it's all cool, man. You know how they love you, then they hate you, then they turn around and love you again.
You win. I was like, oh, you. I was like, oh, shit, here it goes. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with.
Davis, who has a mandatory rematch clause in his contract and expressed his interest in one on Monday via social media, appeared a bit more humble while explaining his performance at the post-fight press conference. However, his explanation only exposed a lack of situational awareness regarding the rules. Nobody likes a draw from a guy who gets knockouts and things like that, but it's cool, Davis said. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have done more. I was lost and lost track of the rounds. That's why we need ring girls. I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
So, yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's okay. We gonna run it back. It's okay.
I didn't want to get caught while my eyes were burning. You can get knocked out like that. So I would rather take the knee, Davis explained. But I didn't really know that you could get disqualified for receiving mid-round corner assistance. When Willis started counting, I was like, what the hell? But it's cool.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught.
During an interview with Colin McGuigan on IFL TV, the Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya, pointed to referee Steve Willis, who, in the 9th round, overlooked an infringement by Davis. After receiving a blow from Roach around the eye, Davis turned away and took a knee, an action that should have been penalized as a knockdown, costing him a point. With that, the judges should have awarded the round to Roach.
I think the draw was meant to be. So I like the draw.
Do you like the draw? Do you like the knee, though? Was that a good call on the ref?
No, if you take the knee, man, when I...
Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has shared his thoughts on the New York State Athletic Commission's review of the controversial fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Hearn doesn't believe the NYSAC will overturn the outcome of the fight, which ended in a majority draw, but he expects a rematch to take place. Davis and Roach fought to a draw at Barclays Center last Saturday, but a 9th round incident in which Davis took a voluntary knee without a knockdown being called has led to an official review by the commission.
The 90s? Or in 2000? You're taking the point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking the point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little...
As reported by Dan Rafael of Fight Freaks Unite, Roach's lawyer appealed for the result to be changed to a win for his fighter, either by decision, knockout, or disqualification. Hearn acknowledged the controversy, but does not expect the New York State Athletic Commission to change the result. He told Fight Hype on Tuesday, "No, I don't think they do. Can the state call for an immediate rematch? I don't think they can. The commission, it's really up to the governing body. The World Boxing Association oversees the lightweight title, and while the commission can review the result, it cannot mandate a rematch." However, Hearn expects one to happen regardless, saying,
"One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown." I've heard some...
Everything I'm hearing is the rematch is going to happen anyway, Hearn revealed. I think it's pretty much done. Hearn also weighed in on the 9th round controversy, arguing that Davis's decision to take a knee should have been ruled a knockdown. If you take a knee in a fight and touch down while punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown, Hearn said. "I heard people saying he should be disqualified. He went back to his corner. I don't buy that. I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation."
He should be disqualified. He went back to the corner. I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight, serious fight. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day before, "I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night." And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little...
The New York State Athletic Commission's review remains ongoing, with no final verdict announced yet. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis's status as arguably one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world is now in question. Although one of the 3 judges believed Davis did enough to win, 2 did not, leading to the majority draw. Round 9 was the difference maker, as it was the defining and most bizarre moment of the fight. During that round, after taking several stinging blows from a 29-year-old Roach, a native of Washington, D.C., Davis suddenly and momentarily dropped to one knee. That's all for now. For the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and action, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.